All right, all right, all right. What's going on? This is your man Big Stu for the season finale of the Quarantine Concert Series hosted by Music's Pool. MusicsPool.com is the place you want to go to hear some of the best music you've never heard. And today we are honored to have none other than your man, Rozell Rox.
Yo, yo,
Peace,
yo.
Rozell. What's happening,
What's
brother?
up? Chilling, brother. Breathing.
Breathing, huh?
Breathing.
Man, they've been having they knees on our necks for the last couple of weeks, man, huh?
Yes, sir. That's a big deal to breathe these days.
Man, it is. Just catching your breath, man. Just breathe easy, man. Hey,
Yes,
listen,
sir.
let's get into it. The people want to know who is Rozell Rox.
Man, I am from the hundreds. Product of Chicago, South Side. Morgan Park High School band, All City band, Gately Stadium killer. I used to take on whole school bands by myself at Morgan Park because we had to talk crazy about it at All City later. But I'm a musician. I grew up with hip hop. I'm a rapper. I like to write songs, multi instrumentalist, music teacher. Did have a stint doing that. It was great. As soon as the quarantine hit, that stint was over. Hopefully, who knows how that'll work out. But all things music. I'm a father. Happy Father's Day to the fathers out there, especially my old man. And yeah, family oriented musician, man. Glad to be here in Chicago.
Man, man, that is right. You are from my neighborhood, our neighborhood.
Wow, wow.
We are Wild Hunted, representing the Hunteds. So Wild Hunteds in the building.
Yeah.
And we did go to the same high school,
Yes,
Morgan
sir.
Park MP High in the building.
Yes, sir.
Ain't no thing but them Mustangs.
That's right.
So yes, I've known you since high school, and you have always been a musician. When
No
did
doubt
you
about it.
first get started as a musician? And tell us about all the different types of instruments that you get into. What makes you a musician?
Well, when I was growing up, my mom had a piano in the house. That's where it
Okay,
started. I
okay.
love the keyboard to this day. But it got a little tricky for me playing both hands. I was young. I was like, I want to switch to the guitar. It had a little more attractiveness. Switch to the guitar. Got to Morgan Park in seventh grade. They was letting me pick my classes. I'm like, I'm a guitar player in the band. Said, okay. I got in the band. Said, we're guitar players in the band. They put me on the cymbal. The seventh grader with the big cymbals. They was huge. So some of the upperclassmen told me, I don't know if you remember Yaphet Cat.
Nah, nah.
It was said, man, you should play the French horn. For the rest of my high school career, I played French horn, city band first year. It was great. Got out, got grown, said these French horns too much. Bought me a trumpet, and it's been a that's I found the love. I want to fight with this boy, but I play the best. I play the studio. You know what I mean? I record. So it's just a pleasure to be able to put out what I hear.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
Uh,
So how old were you when your mom when you recognized that was a piano in the house?
oh man, I grew up with. I can't remember a time when it wasn't something for me to bang on, get a melody out of. Just be inquisitive. It was a blessing to have that, man. A lot of black families should do that. You know, just have a
Now,
piano,
was your
electric
mom a
piano.
musician?
Yeah, she
I'll
was
say that
trained to
again.
play. She was. I said a lot of black families should have that. Just a piano in the house, man. Just something the kids could walk past and because it does
Right,
something
right,
to you. It opens up a little avenue for your expression. But yeah, mom was trained in music. She was a piano player, not like professionally or having gigs, but just as a therapeutic thing, man. That's what music is primarily.
right.
Feels good for me.
Who were some of your early musical influences?
Oh man, so I was classical as a French horn player, so I won't even say. I just was glad to be able to be in the midst of some powerful written music. But when I got on this trumpet, man, it's a man named Clifford Brown. He died when he was 26. He's the standard bearer. Of course, Wynton Marsalis, trombone, Shorty, Roy Hargrove, rest in peace, Dizzy, Miles. But right now, there's a man who's flesh and blood who's been giving me lessons. I would like to recognize him, man, brother Phil Perkins, Chicago's very own. Kind
No
of a
doubt,
legend
Phil.
out here in these streets, but he's showing me that this instrument right here deserves more attention than almost anything else. Because if you don't give it that, it might not work out for you. You know what I mean? You got to work at this. So I'm shout
Yeah.
out to Sensei Phil. I call him my sensei.
Oh man, he must be a serious, serious teacher, man.
Yes, sir.
It's insane. That's dope. That's dope. Tell us about that instrument, the brass, the brass
Oh
section.
man.
What? Give us a
First of
little
all,
history about why we need to honor and respect that instrument.
well, sometimes you get in hot water by quoting the Bible, but biblically, this instrument right here is the one that made the walls fall down in Jericho. This instrument is prophesied to be the last sound you hear before Christ comes back to get his people. It's going to be trumpets offer warning and offer time measurements to the people. I often use. I grew up playing in church too now, so um, when you play in church, I'd be like, what if the power go out? I'm gonna be the only one rocking still. So me and the drummer actually were the only one rocking when all the electric instruments went out. But this right here represents pneuma. It's a Greek word for spirit or wind. And when you play this, it's a spiritual exchange between you and the universe, and it's pretty awesome.
Wow, wow, man. I don't even want to keep the people waiting any longer. I'm excited. I'm a fan of your music, and I do admit to everyone, I do admit that I just became a fan when you uploaded the music to Pool. I did not know you had the chops that you had. So hats off to you. And you spoon fed us some music. You only gave us one song for almost a year. And so
Yeah.
I rocked out to that. But give us something. Are you prepared to give us a little something today that we can get to experience and get a taste of what you into? So, and then we're gonna talk about your style and your vibe.
All right, let me cue it up. This song, um, it's a sample, man. You'll recognize the sample. But and it kind of tells you where I'm coming from with it.
Okay, okay. Just to let the people know, we are rocking with the season finale of the Music's Pool Quarantine Concert Series, and you are listening to and experiencing Mr. Rozell Rox.
Yeah, so I'll take a sample, man, just like everybody else in the hip hop community. I'll take a sample and let it grow. So this is what you hear from this sample I get. Feeling great. Good. How are you? how I feel. I'm feeling great, feeling good. I'm feeling straight. How are you? Yeah, I'm gonna cut it short right there because I want to hit y'all with some more. But that's
Hey, much
that's how.
respect, bro. Much
Yeah, that's how
respect,
stuff
bro.
started right there.
I know this is the
Woo.
Rozell Rox hour, but I have a little experience with that brass instrument myself. I used to play the trombone.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you was
I,
in
I
band
didn't.
with us.
Nah. I didn't play in high school, but I played all through elementary school.
Oh,
But
okay.
so I give it up to the professionals. I knew when to say when. And
Well,
brother,
man,
you
listen.
are a quintessential
I got a
professional.
trombone right here, my man. Anytime you want to come back and pick that thing up,
Wow,
I
wow. So
believe in section. I believe in section work.
what are all the instruments that you play, my brother?
I have to have a trombone at all times. It's one of the most challenging, necessary instruments as a trumpet player. Like, let's just say, because we talk about collaborating as an artist in music pool. Let's say somebody said, "Man, I need some brass on this song." Well, I don't want to have to go get another trombone player. If I can give you in-house brass section, a couple layers, let's do it. I love that. Collaborating, adding. Only thing is, sometimes in the past, I would send somebody some wave files back, and the way they edit it, I'm in charge of how I sound, so I can't let you, make me sound like a kazoo. I got to sound like a strong trumpet. So, yeah, but man, I'm down to do work. That used to be my mantra: do work, and that still is. So anybody
So
want to get at me,
tell us
go ahead,
about
brother.
what we just heard, man. Like, tell us about that song and how they came to be. So give us the inspiration for it. Tell us about what's the name of it.
Man, it's love, need, and want you, baby. That's Patty, man. That's like, that's Patty. Patty sells herself. When you hear it, it gives you just off the strength of her. So it evoked a certain vibe out of me when I heard the original. So I'm like, let me snatch that, let me snatch that, and I want you to know how I feel. You know what I mean? So it's an expressive song, maybe to an intimate partner, maybe to a community, maybe to whoever, but you're able to express how you feel. And yeah, I put some drums on it and rock it out.
Well, you're a one man show. You kind of self reliant on all of your own skills to create this art, and it is an art, by the way.
Well, I am, and that's on purpose too, because I was 10 years living in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. Shout out to Greenwood, but I was in not hella heavenly bands. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like I was in everybody's band. I told you my thing was do work, so I'm like, let me play with you, let me record with you, let me show up. Man, I used to show up to people gigs, and they'll call me up as if I was rehearsing with them, just sing out with them. A wonderfully liberating to be able to participate in music. So I might be one man by myself right now. I decided to be a band leader next time I get with a group, and let's play some of my originals as opposed to just being a horn player or in the back. Too old,
No doubt.
man. I could drop. Got to get out here and get some tomatoes thrown at me, sink or swim. You know what I mean? I got to try to do it big.
No
Don't be
doubt.
afraid to fail.
Cannot be afraid to fail. That's what's up. Let's talk about it real quick. You spent 10 years in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It is
Yes, sir.
Juneteenth. Can we talk about the energy that you experienced out in Tulsa, the difference between Tulsa and Chicago, and what you may have
Mhm.
experienced from a socioeconomic, cultural perspective? Take it over.
Yeah, well, first of all, shout out to my ancestors. We had roots on Black Wall Street. My grandmother's parents had a grocery store that predated the massacre down there, predated the what you call it, the great the economic problem. I'm losing the words. Anyway, the depression. So they had a store down there. When the depression hit, people that had money, they found themselves bringing food from their farm into the store in Greenwood, and people were stealing, and it was just like, man, we had to look out for each other. So from that dynamic to go through that massacre and lose that property and then rebuild into the point where they were still successful entrepreneurs. And so when I go down there, people was like, "Man, what you doing in Tulsa?" I'm like, "Well, I got roots here." People in Chicago, like, it's black people in Tulsa. I'm like, "Well, if you only knew the history, I know it's a lot of shine on the Black Wall Street and the race massacre, but it's also other interesting stories. Osage Indians, look up the Osage massacre. These selfish people of lighter hue ain't playing no games historically. So to be down there in that place historically, in that dirt, and I was disappointed with the people down there. I thought they should have been more progressive. But when you think about it, after that massacre happened, a lot of people cut out, left town, wouldn't come back. So the people that were left are survivors. They like,
Right.
yo, don't be stirring the pot, don't be, we got our good jobs. And I was just like, all right, cool. I made the best of it. And I wouldn't do it differently, but I'm glad to be home,
Yeah.
straight up.
Yeah, I can understand, man. That's a PTSD for real, man. Those are I think that's our grandparents that was down there.
Yeah.
That's like it's not even great grands. It's our grandparents, bro, that
Yeah.
was around during that time, and that makes it for me. That makes it super real, man, because that's one generation. It's two generations, man. That's my
But the
parents.
there was this hush factor, man, where it wasn't discussed in the streets, in the churches, in schools, in black community, white community. It was just
Don't
like it
talk
didn't
about
happen. So I'm a shorty when I found that. I'm asking my grandmother, like, well, and she told me in a way where it wasn't like a call to action. It was just like that this is the tone of the city. And so
it.
people are able to coexist, mingle, despite that divisive history. And that's the power of music, man, and the culture to bring people together. Because I'm mad. I ain't going to lie. I'm mad, man. What would my family mad if we was allowed to, you know, keep doing our thing as entrepreneurs, you know? But it
Yeah,
is what it is.
I will admit, man, I am. Unfortunately, I hate to admit it, but I definitely am still super hurt behind the events that unfolded on May 25th with George Floyd. That I'm
Oh, yeah.
super hurt behind that, and I would admit that I'm a little mad at. I need to figure out who I'm mad at. I think I'm just mad
Hmm.
at the outcome of where we are after putting in so much work. Our ancestors putting in so much work that I probably wouldn't have been able to put in, bro. I probably would have been beat to death because I'm not about to do all this shit, man. You know what I mean? So
I mean, well, for me, this whole police brutality thing, first shout out to my father, retired cop, Chicago police, my auntie, retired captain, my uncle, retired. We come from law enforcement. So it's hard to say for 12. You know what I mean? Because I grew up with 12. And all 12s ain't like that, but it became personal with my man Philip Coleman, Morgan Park alumni that was tasered to
oh
death
yeah,
in 2013. And so, his own right, I had to get that energy out. But these police officers who were responsible for his death are not, they melanated, and then they got their 3 days, 3 months off with no pay, but they back on the job, man, and it's swept under the rug. And everybody else is getting up. I still ain't got a feel, man. You know what I mean? So shout
yeah,
out to Mr. and Mrs. Coleman and his brother Jeff, man, who have had to go on. Life went on, our brother and his sister. But yeah, man, I can't move on to Trayvon and George, and I can't get past my friend. You know what I mean? Right here in Chicago, and that's what I'm talking about. The community. We need this music to do what it do to heal us, man, to bring us together, to give us the opportunity to expel that energy because it'll eat you up. What do
yeah,
you do if the police kill your loved one? What are you supposed to do? You just resentful for the rest of your life. And so you need some positive stuff to be able to do with that, man.
yeah, man. I don't want to spend the rest of my days being resentful and antagonist, uh, being spiteful, being unhappy. So music for me is a great deal of my medicine. Music
Right.
helps me out. How does music impact or influence you and your physiology?
Man, if you took it away, I think it would. decrease my white blood cell count. It was just like it's like you say, man. It's part of the healing. If
Yeah,
I'm feeling bad, bro, people that know me, they'll be like, "Yo, whatever you're doing, pick up a horn and blow that shit out." And invariably, I feel better. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's why I say it's personal. I don't need an audit. I do miss being a street sidewalk performer here in Chicago. I boy interacting with them people, but even just for me, isolated in a box, if I can get down, I will feel better. And if you feel better when you hear me, that's great. But
yeah.
if not, you know, I'm still good.
No, well, hey, listen, you got a couple of songs that you just dropped. I don't know if you're gonna get to them or not, but I wanna talk about them if you don't mind. You just dropped a new song on Pool, and the name of the song that I want to ask you about specifically. I want to get the song right. Is Black Hope.
Black Hope.
Talk to me about Black Hope,
So
brother.
my kids went on they went on a Caribbean cruise. I was so surprised they was able to go to Haiti because that's not the imperialist idea of vacation. They was able to go to Haiti. They brought two loops, and you'll hear them predominantly on this track. So that's where I started the track, and I was like, and this is a straight indigenous vibe. This is from the Caribbean, the motherland. This is going somewhere. So I put out a Facebook thing like, "What does Black Hope mean to you?" And I got some good responses, man. People saying what Black Hope meant to them. This was back in 2016, and so I wrote the lyrics, man. I built the track, and I was like, well, I don't want to be singing on here. Now I will tell you, I sing my songs, but I will beg somebody else to sing them as a collaborative thing. And this time, I successfully begged two of the best artists I could think of in Tulsa. A lady named T. Rush, Tanisha Rushing, dope artist in her own right, and then a guy who's no longer with us named Uncle E. He's an international recording artist, and so I got them to spice it just right. You know how black people use flavors, or like the dude do that. So I sprinkled some Uncle E on it. I liberally doused it with T Rush. You know, I got the horns going, the flutes going, the drums, the bass line. It just, and I broke it down, man. And so I like really like it. And again, man, it's just for me. So let me ask you this: if a bear shits in the forest, wipes his ass with a rabbit, and a tree falls on him, but nobody hears it, did it really happen? And that's how I feel about some of my songs, man. Like spectacular things are being addressed lyrically, musically, but nobody's paying attention. So in the pool, because the big Amazon and Google Music and Tidal, it's like when you shopping for cereal. You got all these choices. You don't know what to get. You just grab some that marketing dollar is behind it. A group, opportunity like this music's pool. It's a chance for me to say, hey, I can be the man on this platform in my own eyes. Here's my best. Let me draw people here. This is black owned. Control our content. We control every this opposed to running still in the next Amazon junkie, or you know what I mean. No disrespect to the, but not on Juneteenth, man. They not
Right,
checking for me. You
right.
are, you know what I mean. So to be able to do anything to help you out, and certainly musically, it's a blessing.
Man, I appreciate that. What you're doing to help me out is creating dope content and
Hmm.
a blessing the efforts of mine and my team to put your content on the platform. You give us a sense of black hope because without you, we're nothing.
Vice versa.
And I'd like to believe that without Pool,
Exactly.
a lot of artists would, we're just trying to make it a little bit easier. We just want to make it a little bit easier for dope talent like yourself. And we are blessed at musicspool.com to have some amazing music by
Hmm.
some amazing musicians and artists like yourself. So it's time for another dose of the Tiny Concert small performance quarantine concert. What you got coming up next? And let's talk about it.
I'm gonna play one of the songs that's on pool. I'm gonna try to spit with it. It'll be more lip syncing because I won't want to get in the way of the song, man, but it's called "Watch What We Do." It's kind of
Okay.
challenging. You don't have no mix. You don't know how it's gonna sound out. So I want the song to carry itself. I'm gonna chime in and vibe with it. But the song was written. We had Ferguson going on, and I didn't get it
Okay.
out till George Floyd. So it's written years ago. It's still a message that's deserving. And so, with no further ado, let me pull that up.
With no further ado, leave your comments. You are on the quarantine concert series with Rozell Rox.
I'm sorry for the delay. Here it comes. Oh,
Y'all feel free to leave your comments. Rozell Rox musicspool.com.
Rozell Rox, Rozell Rox, Rozell Rox. Holler when it hurts, put in extra work. From the earth and veins, we fire the flames, spit the octane. Burn will not change, it's not strange to go against the grain. Think it right brain, find another way to hang in the game. Americanize your name, ease into your lane, disappear like drops of rain. Now, man, stand up in the spot. Speaking, make it hot, we know about the cops. Shit, but on the block, too much fighting, shit, too much silence, too much death, shit, too much compliance. Too many scared to try this peaceful love and science. From Satan's clients, I'll let you to know. Act like you don't know. One thing is for sure, the devil runs the show, so let the fire grow. Outshine the shadow, burn into the smoke. The devil choke. Life is not a joke, hanging with no rope. Slippery and slow, all there is hope. Love up the dough, sipping on the lean, time out on your side, broken true being, life is what a dream. All we need is balance, all the rules is rigged. Step up to the challenge, yo, look what we did. Now watch what we do. Watch what. Now watch what we do. Every action has a reaction, yeah. Watch what. Now watch what we do. Under the surface, beneath the radar, we're getting ready. Watch what. Now watch what we do. We don't stop, we don't quit. Oh, now watch what we do. The time for talking is over. Say less. Say less. All I can do is make the extra effort, go the extra mile. Look at Satan's eyes, muster up a smile. Don't make no excuses, find another way. Flip the situation, do it right away. Take nothing for granted, life is but a big last adversity. Power in the way you think. Positive vibrations start the revolution. Analyzing problems out without solutions. Recognize the game in a different players. Some folks need more than a bunch of prayers. Peel back all the layers, get down to the core. Teach the little babies what life has in store. Influence the future, be the shining light. Don't out in the darkness, stand out in the night. Stand out from the crowd, blaze your own trail. Make ancestors proud, don't be afraid to fail. Maximize potential, don't settle for less. If you get a chance, do your very best. Make an opportunity, make your own bid. Make the opposition notice what we did. Now that's what we do. Watch, watch. Now that's what we do. When the chips are down against all odds, yeah. Watch, watch. Now that's what we do. By any means necessary, yeah. Watch, watch. Now that's what we do. The revolution won't be televised. No. Watch, watch. Now that's what we do. Nothing can stop us from moving forward, yeah. Forward, yeah. They put their club upside your. So yeah, man, that's watch what we do, man. I love that energy of that
Yeah.
song. It's like energy of the looting going on. We burn this boy. Meaning, yeah, I get hyped off that.
I like that. What's
Straight up.
that instrument called that makes that?
Doom, 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 doom.
What's
It's
that
called a
called?
doom doom. They got all these African instruments, man. But the thing about them, man, I got to volunteer at the African Fest last summer, and of course, I told them put me at the drum circle. So I'm seeing all of these instruments in life that previously have been on the studio, like a keyboard. And I'm looking at real people breathing and playing them, and it'll change your life, man. It's like, okay, that's what I want to hear. And I really got to graduate where I can get these brothers and sisters to come live and be, you capture that. Man, boy, it's hard to capture it, but it's well worth it. It's a challenge that I'm going to try. Cause man, the African Fest. I hope we get to do it again this year. But you know, Rona,
Rona is upon us.
Rona.
Ain't looking good. I think it's already been canceled.
Oh, has it?
Along with Lala. You had to do it virtual. How you feel about living in this virtual space, man?
I'm a um, I'm an old school person. I'm gonna do my best with it, but I like. I mean, I'm not gonna run up on nobody. Certainly, I want to be one of the last people to get Rona. So I'll be probably social distancing, you know, well beyond time where everybody's cool with stuff. But I miss y'all, man. I miss us, man. I miss the sidewalks, playing on the sidewalks to the masses downtown. I miss getting down on that subway platform and playing down there for the real people. And I miss gigs at night. I miss going to hear other bands. I miss the camaraderie of a band. I miss, you know, just this the social thing, man. That's the hardest part about Rona, man, is dividing us and isolating us. And so, you know, we do the best we can, things like this to bring us together. Um, I want to get out here and do the Juneteenth, but I just don't know, man. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just don't
I've
know.
been telling my stories. They played a mind trick on us, man. They got us real good, man, to be spooked.
Yeah,
You know, I be trying not to be out here like that, but you know, I wasn't gonna be one of the ones like F the Rona. You know what I
right.
mean? They
It's
got me,
real.
man. They got
It's
me,
real.
and it's played a little mind trick on me, man, over the last few months for sure. You
Hmm.
know, I'm a homebody, but I love my vitamin D. I love taking a ride in the whip along Lakeshore Drive. I ain't seen Lakeshore Drive since March. You know what I
It's
mean?
still
Like,
there. I live down here in Bronzeville, not too far from it. I look out the window and see it and wave at it
wow,
like, man, I wish I could get. It's therapeutic, man. That water,
yeah,
you know, it's a great attribute for the city, and I'll be glad when it's, you know, this is passed on a little bit. We can enjoy ourselves peacefully. You know, I just
yeah.
hope we don't come out guns blazing like Yosemite Sound just because we can, just because we not on lockdown no more. I hope we use.
Well, I think we saw a little bit of it, man. I think part of them riots, it wasn't just George Floyd. It was George Floyd and Tiana and Aubrey and
And Phil
so
Cole,
many others, and it
back
was
in
being locked
2000.
up for 3 months.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a culminating
Yeah. So
culminating events, brother, that kind of blew that top open, brother. You know what I mean? Around the country, weather was nice that weekend, man. Around the country, bro. Like, man, we've been locked up. Y'all keep killing us. Ah, and that's what they got.
I was interested to see whose hand was at play. You know, we was definitely participating in the protests and the looting and, you know, the violence of it. Well, we weren't alone, man. I don't think we were in the vanguard about that. So I'm looking at agitators and people coming in like, you know, in Tulsa, they Juneteenth is today, and tomorrow President Trump is having his first. You heard me calling President Trump is having his first public thing since the corona came out. So he chose strategically to go to Black Wall Street and call in all of these people like purge extras. That's what I consider them, man. So it's gonna be a volatile
Yeah,
town in Tulsa, man. I'm watching y'all and prayer for you, man. Told my kids stay in the house. You know what I mean? This weekend. So, but you
you
know we
got to
can't
ease
stay in the
back
house.
into
We got
it.
to man up and woman up and deal with, you know, making the change that we want to see. But man, I'm nervous for him, bro. I'm older now. I'm getting nervous. That nervous energy. We used to act on it when we was young, go out and wild out. Remember when the Bulls
Yeah.
won? We took that
Oh yeah,
nervous
we don't care
energy
about
and tore
nothing.
this boy up. So I can
We
understand where the
care
young
about nothing.
people are coming from, and I appreciate their activism and you know exuberance.
Doing the work,
Yeah,
doing the work, because it wasn't us. It
nah,
wasn't us.
not all us. Not all us. Cause I was
So
down on 35th when it cracked down here in Lake Meadows. I was at Lake Meadows Mall when they bust that window. I didn't see no lack of melanin. You know, it was us. I was on
but I did.
87th when it bust too, and that was us. May
Yeah,
31st.
I had an opportunity a few days ago. I actually think it was like Wednesday. I went out and I drove down King Drive here in Chicago, and I drove past 35th Street. I drove down 47th Street. I drove down 51st and 55th, and man, 83rd, 87th. Man, we tore the town up, bro. We
Hmm.
tore the town up, man. It's a little heartbreaking, bro. How did it affect you?
Well, like I said, it was my grandson's birthday. I thought I was gonna run out and get a birthday cake last minute Sunday morning. We was on 87th Street, and we heard the glass break. It sounded like a gunshot, and I mean, people were swarming, man. It was like insects or rodents. They was This lady was so excited. She said, "Man, oh my mama, I've been waiting to get in this rainbow." She almost got hit by cars running over there, and so we trying to get out the parking lot at the same time as the looters leaving. And this one brother running past, he all happy, man. He looked so happy. I said, "Look at the face of a looter." You know what he said? "I got me some mismatch jumpers." This fool got him a green one and a blue one. They don't even match, man, but they just got something. And it's really an expression of powerlessness, man. They was on the expressway entrance. 119th is next. They going 119th in
Yeah,
Marshall. So they hit them like dominoes, man, and it was frightening to see that misdirected energy. It's empowering to see that, if we make up our minds to buck the authority, but we got to use some strategy, man, that could have backfired very easily. You know what I
sure
mean?
could have.
Like they didn't have to open them stores back up, which would have created opportunity for black people to do for ourselves. But it's just we just got to be wisdom based, touch down and talk to our kids, man. Don't be scared of them. These guys we on 119th, they my son's age. You know what I mean? If I'm not afraid to interact with my sons, I'm definitely not afraid to interact with their peers. But it's something else to be said for trying to grab one. Hey man, slow down. What you doing? They ain't trying to hear it. You can just feel
Not,
it.
not, not on that day. Not them days.
Yeah, yeah.
Wasn't the
So,
day. Not catch them another day on that one.
but in these coming weeks and months, man, we owe it to our ancestors to reach down to our future and try to influence them, man. Got to.
Yeah, yeah. So give us a song that kind of speaks to what we just been talking about: our ancestors, redirected energies, Juneteenth. What you got for us, man? I don't care what it is, man.
Man,
Give
I
us
got a
some
song.
uplifting spirits right now, brother.
It's called Walking Through Hell.
Y'all watching Rozell Rox on the Quarantine Concert Series. That's him. This is your man Big Stu, musicschool.com. Check us out.
They put their club upside your head and then turn around and accuse you of attacking them. Every case of police brutality against a Negro follows the same pattern. They attack you, bust you all upside your mouth, and then take you to court and charge you with assault.
Here's what we know, the FBI had a COINTELPRO. Do you know what that do to people looking like you? Here's a fact, George Bush had a Patriot Act. So if you brown or you black, the man is on your back. Yo, I know the FBI had a COINTELPRO. Do you know what that do to people looking like you? Here's a fact, George Bush had a Patriot Act. So if you brown or you black, the man is on your back. Who's that peeping in my window? How did those blue lights grow all over Chicago? Why don't prison rates go up? Why do people die when police show up? Why is the hood toe up? And people only want to turn up while our future burns up. That's no one's concern. We only learn to earn, can't decide to discern. Hit the brakes or turn ashes to ashes from crashes and pour it out in an urn. And reports are confirmed. Another body buried with the worms. Another mommy buries her baby. Survivors go crazy. They don't know and can't tell. They lose a third of their white blood cells. Relocate to downstate prison cells. Human lives are for sale. The system won't fail. Got us alive, walking through hell. Here's what we know. The FBI had a COINTELPRO. Do you know what that do to people looking like you? Here's a fact. George Bush had a Patriot Act. So if you brown or you black, the man is on your back. Yo, I know the FBI had a COINTELPRO. Do you know what that do to people looking like you? Here's a fact, George Bush had a Patriot Act. So if you brown or you black, the man is on your back. 400 plus years of trauma handed down from mama to baby through breast milk and DNA. So when people say niggas is crazy, they just don't know how crazy niggas is. You can see it in the kids' defiance. Ignorance is a science. I need the midgets to be giants. Let's grow up, but we drink 80 proof till we throw up, wild out and act surprised when the cops show up. Life has to slow up or pause. Sometimes being black just offends them laws. So they snap the jaws of the beast and clear the streets. Call it tough on crime when it's just tough on my peace. Jordan 11's a week. this shit hits the fan, it'll leave your ass dead on your feet. Wake up, little ones. Can't you smell that smell? The smoke is getting thick while we walk through hell. Here's what we know. The FBI had a COINTELPRO. Do you know what that do to people looking like you? Here's a fact. George Bush had a Patriot Act. So if you brown or you black, the man is on your back. Yo, I know the FBI had a COINTELPRO. Do you know what that do to people looking like you? Here's a fact. George Bush had a Patriot Act. So if you brown or you black, the man is on your back. I can hear my brother cry. I can't breathe. Now I'm in the struggle and I can't leave. I'm calling out the violence of the racist police. We ain't gonna stop till people are free. Till our people are free.
My brothers and sisters, we have to put a stop to this.
Malcolm X, baby.
It will never be stopped until we stop it ourselves.
You hear him? Brother Malcolm.
My brothers and sisters, we have to put a stop to this.
Oh yeah, that's
And
the
it will
best
never
one
be
of the
stopped
parts.
until we stop it ourselves.
It ain't no odyssey that my life's a commodity with a value and a price, but the value is low. Not affected by what I know, but the looks that show on folks' faces when I invade their spaces. Clutch purses, standoffish doctors and nurses, law enforcement curses. What's even worse, it's affected my view of myself. I hate y'all niggas because I hate me. I hate us niggas because we ain't free. And I'm not convinced we ever will be. Simultaneously, I know some things can change when the situation's so strange. The strangers speak against dangers. There used to be exclusively ours. We not the only ones challenging powers that be. Black peace stones screaming out all is well. It might end well, but now we walking through hell.
They attacked the
Malcolm
victim,
X, boy.
and then the criminal who attacked the victim accused the victim of attacking him.
Y'all get that?
This is American justice.
American justice.
They attacked the victim, and then the criminal who attacked the victim accused the victim of attacking him.
Tell them one more
This
time.
is American justice. They attacked the victim, and then the criminal who attacked the victim accused the victim of attacking him. This is American justice. This is American justice. This is American justice. This is American justice. This is American justice.
Here's what we know. The FBI had a COINTELPRO, but do you know what that do to people looking like you? Here's a fact. George Bush had a Patriot Act, so if you brown or you black, the man is on your back. Yo, I know the FBI had a COINTELPRO. Do you know what that do to people looking like you? Here's a fact. George Bush had a Patriot Act, so if you brown or you black, the man is on your back.
Yo, man, you know what would really be raw, Chuck? It's like instead of calling 911, if people in the hood could call 999, and like the black militia show up, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the problem, man? Oh, my son is disrespecting me. Where he at? Oh, this dude broke in my house. Who? You know what I'm saying? Police our own hood, man. That's what we gonna have to do. We need that.
What kind of democracy is that? What kind of freedom is that? What kind of social or political system is it when a black man has no voice in court, has nothing on his side other than what the white man chooses to give him?
Brother Malcolm, you feel me?
Indeed, brother. Indeed.
Yeah. Whew.
That's classic. But what does that do for you? What does that song do to you, man?
Man, it's empowerment. It's a way for us not to be powerless. When you're going through a situation, it seems like you have nothing that you can do about it. At least you can talk about it. At bare minimum, start a conversation. Other people who hear that song, be like, yo, I listen to that song. You know, good rap music will grow on you. You'll hear it a certain way that you didn't hear it initially. And I hope to be that type of artist where, you know, I can be like a fungus. I can just grow on the audiences. You know, like, man, I heard something the second time I heard it that I didn't hear the first time.
Yeah.
That's a barometer. So for me, it was a way for me to talk about this frustration, police brutality, talk about law enforcement from my unique perspective, being a cop's kid, and
Yeah.
and the response, like they talking about defunding the police, that might be ass backwards. Like you should probably supplement the other, you know, social services at the expense of the police budget. But when you say defund the police and you come from a law and order background, It's like, really? So you're gonna make these cops' jobs harder, So I'm kind of torn
Or
up about it, bro.
I mean, I think about it. Like my pops and your pops from the same generation. My pops from the one of the first blacks hired during that wave back in the '60s to the Chicago Police Department. There was a time when the police actually knew the community.
Right.
So instead of them being so defensive, if you go back to where you got a rapport with the neighborhood police, you might actually keep crime down.
Yeah.
Maybe, because I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm my law enforcement runs deep in my family as well. I'm a cop's kid as well. Uh, but cops just running up on folks with this sense of aggression because they got the guns.
That's I
You
mean,
know,
Phil
that's
Coleman, back again to Phil Coleman, man. All my cops kid. I was out the window when it hit home. You mess with my best friend as a law enforcement, like all of y'all. That's when it was fuck 12. Like, daddy, auntie, y'all better tell me something. And there was nothing they could tell me. It was like an acceptable loss for the system of law enforcement. At that point, I knew that even though there were benefits for black police officers and their families, there's something fundamentally wrong that has to be addressed. And so defunding them, that's one way of looking at it. But just make them pay for their own lawsuits out of their pensions. That'll be dope. But
some,
just
some but
flood these other people, these social services, these mental health professionals, these first responders, that it's not a life and death situation where the police are responding to everything and they already think they bad as hell. So just minimize your contact with them. Send somebody else, man. Ain't no more officer friendly out here. You know?
hey, we got some real problems because we got some. There are some true. Listen, man. I ain't that. I might be that uppity Negro, man, but and I'm on the block. You know what I mean? I'm still in the hundreds today, but we got some menaces to society running around out here. It's
Yeah,
shooters in the hood, bro. And
yeah,
this ain't no dry snitch.
right.
This is just a real conversation. You know, I mean,
Man, one
some
one
people
take
want to
on
be
that, man.
protected.
It's this is a place where vigilante justice is not a new thing. Meaning, if you do something to somebody's family and they call the police and the police don't handle it in the way they think is right, they will take justice into their own hands in this city. And so I recognize that a lot of these unsolved crimes are people taking justice into their own head because it's a shiesty place too, man. People will try to pull it. And so it's checks and balances today. You ain't gonna get away with nothing in Chicago. If you steal somebody's car, they can find out who you is, man. They
Yeah, it
might
becomes a
air you
small
out,
city,
bro.
bro.
Yeah,
It
so my
becomes a
thing
very
is
small city.
just do right by people, man.
Yeah.
And if something bogus happened to you, you ain't gotta turn into a gladiator. And man, it's the streets talk for themselves, man. I ain't got nothing to say about it. I love the streets here, but not to the point where I'm gonna go under fooling with them. So
Yeah.
I would like to influence the streets more so than be influenced by, especially
Some
at
of
this
that,
age.
some of that, I believe, is definitely in education, man. You have to figure out at some point we as a people have to start teaching each other how to treat each other.
Yeah,
Right now, man, it doesn't always feel good. It's almost damn near like you can't say something to somebody. It's like music is the only thing that actually is binding people together right now. It's the music.
yeah,
And I'm glad to know that you're a part of contributing good music to the universe, brother.
man,
Those
my
musical
part.
vibrations do good, man. So I'm gonna need you to keep being the Pied Piper of good music, bro. Make that shit happen. Keep doing what you're doing. I hope that you give us before we get out of here, man. I hope you bless us with a little more music, man, especially from that trumpet or whatever else you want to
Yeah,
do.
I
Every
got
day
one.
we put a
I
song.
got one called Black Folk.
Black folk.
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. This is the musicspool.com. Quarantine content. This is the finale, y'all. We rocking with Rozell Rox, rapper, trumpeter.
Hey man, I need to give a shout out to my man Rozell Rox, one of the most talented producers I've ever been able to work with. Man, he makes beats, and I got an archive. He got stuff that I got stuff that he didn't forgot about. So
What's his name?
Rozell Rox, Jeslrox. He the one put the ROX on his name, and I'm like, all right, since I'm using your beats a lot, I'm gonna put ROX on my name, and we cousins like that. Yeah,
Wow.
his family, you know, Rashad Buggs and Ayana,
Yeah,
man, I'm his cousins. So he's family, man. They all family, man. It's a one love thing, man. Another shout out to Morgan Park alumni, boy. They don't get no better than that.
yes, indeed. All the guys.
Man,
We
yeah,
had some day. We had some times up at the park.
yes,
Where
sir.
can people? Where can they get up with you at, man? Where can they find your music? And then tell us about where they might be able to get some of your merch or some of your, CDs. You
Right.
got any CDs, wax, anything coming? How's that looking?
Uh, so first of all, again, musicspool.com is where I'm trying to
Indeed.
funnel people to at this present time. I paid $20 for distrokid.com, which puts any release that I put out for the next calendar year on all the major platforms, title, all of that stuff. And that was a good investment for me. But again,
Indeed.
making myself stand out in such a crowded marketplace is going to require like a genie and three wishes. And I ain't, I'm using my wishes for my grandkids. So music pool came up and I'm like, bro, I can work this. I can work this as
Yeah.
opposed to being a small fish in the ocean. I can make myself as big as I want on this platform and invest in it, man. So I was able to create a playlist. So if you're able to log in, get the app for musicspool.com, you'll catch all of my new releases. Because it's too hard for me to figure out. What do you Google Music, you iTunes, you whatever, man. Come go black with it. You know what I mean? And so with
Right.
this momentum that we building up as a nationwide community, it's the perfect time to say support this black initiative, black artists, and not just black artists, music
Right.
artists. But we taking control of the content and it's something that I want to definitely be part of. So if you want to hear my stuff, first of all, check out musicspool.com. And again, it is on every music platform. But it's a lot of people with my name, Rozell. I didn't really know that till after the fact. And so again, musicspool.com, I don't have nobody competing for my name. I can just be me. I've been writing songs for years. I was always like, I'm just gonna backlog them, and when I start dropping them, I'm just gonna start dropping them, and that's what's happening, man. I'm just years ago, songs was written and influenced by current events that are still dealing with us right now because we didn't deal with them. So hopefully, man, I can make an impact on helping us deal with these issues that have been dealing with us.
Now, how would you even classify yourself as a musician when it comes to genre? Unfortunately, we still have these boxes. Which box do you select?
Um, I don't select bluegrass. Shout out to my friend Johnny Money. Not that I wasn't exposed to it, it just didn't vibe with me. I don't select country western. I was down in Tulsa. I tried it. I got respect for those artists, but it just didn't resonate with me. But polka music, I probably wouldn't be able to vibe with that. But then anything else, I would like to say everything else from funk to jazz to R&B to gospel to hip hop to classical to Caribbean, man, I've been looking for it. I'm looking for any opportunities to get down with some of these things, these different genres, man. I was in a group called Brujo Roots. We will be performing. I get on the mic. I tell the audience, "Don't tell these boys I'm not Mexican. They don't know
Right,
yet."
right, right.
That'll be my little, running gag. But I was the only black person in the Mexican band. I was the only person in a white band. I was one of many black people in a funk band and a good R&B band. So I have a lot of different exposure. I love playing in church. Love it,
Yeah.
love it. Shout out to Bishop Gordon, who's got a new album out. Man, from Tristone on 104th and Charles. That album is powerful. But yeah, man, my background is it's like whoosh, and here I am. So if you gotta classify me, um, it's hard.
Yeah, I hate to put you in that box, man.
It's
I hate to
hard.
put you in that box. But you are
And
an
is that do you
artist,
think do
man.
you think that helps the artist to
Being
put
put in the
themselves in a
box.
narrow? I mean, it's probably
I mean,
more
I think it
convenient.
comes down to like the difference between I think it actually comes down to the artist being the director, and the director can direct damn near any genre of movie.
Hmm.
But then your album is the genre. I did a jazz album. I did a gospel album. I did a pop album. I did a rap album. But you, the director, I mean, you can't put the director in a box. You're an artist. You're a
Right.
musician. But your projects may have genres. May have a feel on this song has more of a jazz feel. This more has more of a Afro punk feel or more salsa. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be. You know what I mean? So that's what I believe. I think you're gonna need categories because people are gonna search for you
Right.
and search for your project. So if everybody just said, "I'm an artist, I'm a musician," you back to flooded, muddy waters again. And how do you
Yeah.
find people?
Right.
So maybe you come up with your own genre and say I'm this, like Afropunk did. Afropunk. Some people said, "Hey, we Afropunk.
Right.
We not African. We not punk. We
That is a
Afropunk."
new
You
term.
know?
That is a new genre too.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
exactly right. I'm gonna
So
get
you're
right on
gonna have to
top of
create
that.
your own genre. That's and bring it to us, and your pool will have it. Like we got this specific genre for you, and now watch others then follow that. Like,
Right.
man, first it was just me. Now I got other artists saying they did that too. So that's great, man.
That's
Because
what's up.
we have a number of musicians and singers on pool as well. Although it's very rap heavy, there's some rock, there's some Caribbean, there's some Ugandan gospel. There's some steppers. You know what I mean? You saw Rodney Gibson. He was on here,
Hmm.
but he has his whole eclectic style of music. I don't even,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's all over the place, man. But I got a challenge for you.
Okay.
I want you to do something. On pool, there are a lot of great artists, and I know there are many of them that you do not know. There's a feature on pool, it's easy for you to find it, where you can message other artists.
Okay.
I challenge you to hit them up, an artist that you like, and to create something with that artist.
All right.
I
That's
challenge y'all to create something. Get with an artist. Start with one, but use it as a platform because we are our own musical Black Wall Street in pool.
I'm with that. I'm with that. Like they say, I got time. I got time, bro. And I
Man,
definitely am interested in, like I said, collaborating. I think that's awesome that y'all got that thing going like that. And I definitely will be doing that. Like trying to bless somebody's track, or if it's a singer, hey, I wrote this song and I don't need to be featured on it. Yeah, yeah, it's coming.
I
Challenge accepted.
appreciate that, man.
Challenge accepted.
Appreciate that. Hey, look, man, that's about all our time today, man.
That's what's up.
It's been a pleasure having you on for the season finale of the Music School Quarantine Concert Series. Week 12. We've been doing it for 12 weeks. That's how long we've been locked down. But I need a break. So
I
I'm
hear
gonna
you,
take a
bro.
break and I'm gonna take the summer off. We coming back in the fall with a new lineup. So get ready. You'll be back. We'll have some new stuff in store for you. And man, hopefully we see you live and in concert real soon, brother.
No doubt about it. I'll be polished up and ready, man. Y'all plug in to musicspool.com. While he on hiatus, I'm still gonna be dropping stuff. Like,
Indeed,
man, I got
indeed.
some more stuff. Just pay attention. It's free to pay attention. It's free
Hey
on
man,
musicspool.com.
we
It's
got
free,
time to
ain't it?
hear one more if you got one more in you tonight.
Let me see on my list. Uh,
Take us out with something.
all right.
I
I'm gonna
hate to
play
put
this
you on
one.
the
It's
spot.
called Badu. Shout
I ain't
out
gonna
to
say
the
I hate
Queen.
putting you on the spot. I love putting you on the spot. Rozell Rox, people. Season finale. Music's Pool Quarantine Concert Series is coming to an end tonight. Check it out. We are here. Thank y'all for rocking with us for 12 episodes.
got, man. I'm sweating. Uh, I want
Man,
to
we
give one
love it,
last shout
bro.
out, man, to my Uncle
Thank you, brother.
Milton. No doubt. I want to give a shout out to my Uncle Milton Preston Rowland Jr.
Rest in peace.
1953 to 2020. Went out like a champ. No sympathy needed. Heaven's Game. Glad I was here to rub elbows with my uncle, man. My grandmother's youngest son, my daddy's little brother, man. One love, man. If you watching from heaven, love you, Unc.
Love, thank you, man. We'll talk to you soon. All right, brother.
All right, bro. Love.